protected them.
Yes.
So that's the mindset of women. We always want to protect what is ours, our
Come on.
family, our loved ones, our home, everything, our business. So we need, that's the mindset that we were born with. This is a God-given experience for women. When you find out you're pregnant, what do? You prepare for that baby. You don't wait for the baby to get here. You prepare as soon as you realize you're pregnant. So we're built that way to prepare. And
I
so the
love it.
other thing, being prepared removes the fear.
Yes.
It removes the fear. And I would admonish you that are online to go look for yourself. One of the things you can do is go look at YouTube and also look at the Ring commercials for the Ring doorbell system and security system. They have their own website where you can see what is actually going on in today's time. There is an increase in home invasions. That's not being reported, and we understand why from the government, why that is not being reported. But there is a massive increase in home invasions. There's increase in mass shootings. You can't even go to the grocery stores without seeing something going on. There's a massive increase in carjackings. And then there's the increase in domestic violence. So we need to be prepared. We need to understand what the rules are, what the regulations are, how to handle guns safely. And this is something that I also want to talk with you, Laurie, behind the scenes, because I have in my heart, and I want you to be a big part of it, to set up a gun club.
I love it.
To set up a gun club.
I love
Because
it.
here's the main thing.
Ooh, I love
Many of
that.
us have seen on TV before where a woman would shoot a gun and she would do like this with her eyes closed and her hands shaking. Okay? And her eyes are closed and her hands are shaking and she fires the gun and she drops it and does this. That's fear. We
Yes.
need to remove that. And I want to us to develop what is called muscle memory. What is that? I'll put it to you in this way. When you first started driving, as a new driver, you were fearful, especially being on the highways and high traffic areas. And you were very, very nervous. You drove very slow and you would sit and you would hold the steering wheel like this.
Squeeze the steering
But
wheel.
because you've been driving for years now, you have developed muscle memory. What that means, if you see out of your peripheral vision that another car is drifting into your lane, what do? You immediately, without thinking, you take evasive action so that car doesn't hit you and you recover. You do that without thinking.
Without
That
thinking.
is muscle memory. We
Yes.
need muscle memory when it comes to our firearms. That what we need to do is to have that training where you are very comfortable, just as comfortable as you are driving your automobile.
Come
You
on.
still watchful, you still paying attention, you still aware of your surroundings. And when you see that encroachment, you automatically take evasive action. So with muscle memory with your weapon,
Yes.
being, firing at a gun range is one thing, but being fired back at is another thing. And firing at someone coming in your home is another thing. So we need that training, what to do, what not to do, how to do. I'll give you some tips.
Well,
One
wait a
of
minute. Before you continue on, because what I want to acknowledge that you've just done, which I wanted us to do early on as well, to be, let's talk about the sensitivity of that word guns because of what's going on in the world. And you did an excellent job of bringing in being a woman and being comfortable with the whole concept of protecting yourself. And this is just another tool in the toolkit in protecting ourselves. But you also are talking, of course, for someone like me that served in the Marine Corps, training with it, spending time learning and educating yourself so that you become comfortable is the key to getting yourself removed from the fear part. And I really wanted to exaggerate on it because those are two major things. Know that you're supposed to be protecting yourself. You protect others, right? And you need to be able to protect others. Know that you need to not live in fear because, of course, fear will kill you quicker than anything else. So I appreciate you giving that part. And God knows I'm all in on talking more about that gun club thing. We should start a strategy on that. I'm all in, raising my hand. But go on. What was it that you was going to move on into?
Well,
About some tips.
some of these tips that you need to know in being a gun owner is how to handle your weapon, how to handle it safely at all times, how to discharge a firearm. What help do you need? Now, I have one of my new weapons. Um, it's actually a 40 caliber. And Laurie knows this. I have a laser on my weapon. Wherever that red dot is,
Come on.
I know that's where that bullet is going. It's not going up in the ceiling. Do what you need to do to help you because when you have to use your weapon, that is going to be a traumatic experience.
Period.
Period. That's going to be traumatic. And it's something you don't look forward to doing, but it may be necessary
Yes.
to save your life and the life of your loved ones. Um, so even going to buy a weapon, we have to have the mindset, what is the right weapon for me? What is the right weapon for you? And Laurie and I went to a gun dealer.
When I went to buy mine, y'all, when I went to buy mine, she was at my hip. Come on, let's go get these things, girl.
Laurie we walked around in the gun store. Now we were the two only black in that store, plus we were female. And so we were talking about, okay, what do you think about this particular weapon? Pick it up. What does it feel like in your hand? Is it comfortable in your hand? You don't need a weapon that's built for a man because
Yes.
our hands are small and delicate. So we need to know, does this feel right in my hand? So at that time, Laurie, the salesman was fantastic. Laurie actually picked out 3 handguns.
Mm-hmm.
And so as I was looking around the store, I'm looking for additional weapons for home protection for Laurie. And I see this Mossberg pistol grip shotgun.
Come on,
And I'm
girl.
standing about 15 feet or so,
Woo.
feet away from Laurie. And I just barely called out. I said, Laurie, I said, this is the one you want for your home. And so the owner of the gun shop was so intrigued. He came out and
He
started
sure did.
following us around.
We're
And
like,
he finally came up behind me and put his mouth very close to my ear. And he whispered, he said, do you all know something that we don't? I just looked at him and smiled. I didn't answer. There was no need to answer. And then they found it very intriguing
oh,
when the gentleman was writing up the sales receipts. And I said, oh, don't forget about the ammo. You need ammo. And the salesman said, well, for the shotgun, do you want birdshot or do you want double art? And I had my head down. I never looked up. I
because I'm
just
like, I
said,
don't know the difference.
we ain't shooting no birds. We're not shooting birds. I don't want bird shot. So
Okay.
you need to know what weapons are right for you. You need to know what type of ammo. Now, here's another tip about ammo. You do not want to purchase, and this is where knowledge come in. You do not want steel casing ammo. You want brass American made ammo. Steel is very cheap and it will actually heat up in the barrel of your gun and cause the gunpowder to explode.
That's good
We'll
teaching.
talk offline where that ammo came from, but
Yeah.
you want American made brass. You want a weapon that feels natural in your hand, that is very comfortable, that is fitting the size of your hand. Trying to use a weapon that is much larger grip than what you're used to, no, that's not going to work.